check our mics?
No.
Mic check 1 2, mic check 1 2. And we're rolling, baby, with the Berman Method Podcast. Dr. Jake Berman here with my beautiful co-host,
Jenni Berman, physician assistant.
We are David going against Goliath. Goliath being the corporate medical system, big pharmaceutical companies, health insurance companies. We got another rant on health insurance companies that you can't make this up. So let me go ahead and give a big shout out to, I want to thank all of our health insurance companies over the years. Blue Cross, Freedom, United, Cigna. I just want to thank all of them for the endless content that you've given us. Like just endless content. You can't make this stuff up. We just got another letter this morning.
We thought it was over. We have been off insurance for a year now. Walker only the past 4 months or so. But we thought it was over because we got rid of it.
And just when you thought it was over.
It's not over.
It's not over.
6:30 this morning, I'm opening mail and I'm all, wait, what?
What is this?
Yeah, so I'm like reading it. And then I read it all over again a second time. And I was like, you'll never believe this. I'm not making this up right now.
Like, this is real stuff, and this is what you have to understand is we've gone through this so many times because of all of the health issues that we've been through over the years, including all of the kids, that this is just a common practice for us. We understand how the game is played. And the problem is, if you don't go through this on a regular basis, you don't understand that this is a game that they're playing. This is a regular routine practice that they're doing. So a year ago, you were planning on having an abdominal surgery.
For a hernia repair.
For a hernia repair that was a legitimate health concern.
Correct.
Like, this wasn't a tummy tuck or a mommy makeover thing.
Right.
Like, this was a legitimate health concern that the abdominal hernia, because of the pregnancy, it was splitting. Mm-hmm. So kind of like what was it? Diastasis recti, mm-hmm. where the abdominals are actually splitting and the guts are protruding through the stomach, mm-hmm. or the abdominal wall. So this is a legitimate health concern.
Right.
But the health insurance company that we had at the time said, no, it's not. This is a mommy makeover, and this is not medically necessary.
They said it wasn't medically necessary. The hernia repair was not medically necessary. Yeah.
So the letter you open up this morning, a year later.
Well, so the backstory is when they said it wasn't medically necessary, this $20,000 surgery for a hernia repair, they were going to cover $1,200 of it. And so we tried arguing with them about it being medically necessary, and I submitted for a review so that they would relook at the medical notes from the physician, the surgeon, saying like, yes, it's in the umbilical area, it is necessary because of whatever, all the reasons. Anyway, so I submitted for the review, so I get a letter this morning, 1 year later, saying you had submitted information for a medical review, and we are sorry to say that your what do they call it?
Your application.
Yeah, was misfiled.
It was lost.
Misfiled was the word that they used. And so we're just now reviewing it for you. And whatever. Then the outcome of the letter. But I'm reading this and I'm all, what are they talking about? And then I was like, it dawned on me. A year ago is when I had the surgery planned for August initially, and we found out in July that they were only going to cover $1,200, and so here we are. A year later saying that my application had been misfiled.
So you think that this is not real. This is happening. Like, they got to be coached. I want to get a job at a health insurance company just to infiltrate the system, because I know that day one this is the way that you answer the phone. No, I'm sorry, that's not covered. It has to be training because it's all the same.
Right.
It's all the same. This medically necessary procedure was misfiled and they just magically found it a year ago.
1 year later.
I'm telling you, what had actually happened was they said, okay, here's what we're going to do in this case. I don't want to pay for this, so we're going to put this over here, and I'm going to say, hey, Siri, remind me in 1 year to come back and bring this up so that...
Yeah.
No, stop, I'm not talking to you.
Oh.
She was actually listening.
But yeah, it was just crazy. And again, I was like, you can't make this up.
You cannot
this is in the insurance world, is that a year later they want to bring up somebody's surgery and be like, okay, now we'll reconsider. Except they didn't reconsider.
No,
they still denied it.
They still denied it. They still denied it. So I'm glad that we didn't wait a year.
For answers.
Jeez.
Could you imagine? I might have had an incarcerated colon by then.
Yeah, strangulated colon.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's what we wanted to start off with today. That's why we're David going against Goliath, because it's not right. You've got to speak your mind. You've got to ask questions. And even when you get answers, most likely it's not the right answer. So you got to become an asshole. Ask.
Stella did that to me yesterday.
Holy cow.
She kept asking me the same thing. I was like, no. Okay, fine. Whatever. Just fine. Just do it. Yeah, sure. And I immediately thought, like, she got me.
Yep, she won.
Yeah.
She
but
won.
that's what you have to do to your medical providers.
You have to become an asshole. You've got to ask. And if you don't get the right answer, then ask somebody else. There's 6-7 billion people on this planet. You'll find the answer eventually. You just got to keep asking.
Right. Yep.
Yep.
Well, what else? Do you want to talk about what we really were going to talk about?
Yeah, what did we really want to talk about today?
On this rant.
Yeah, this was a serious rant. What was this? This was a 7-minute rant.
That wasn't actually bad for you.
Yeah.
I think you've done worse.
Yeah, at least it wasn't 10 or 15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just part of it. Like, again, we have to go over it. Okay, so
I think it ties in very nice to what we actually did want to talk about today.
About muscle?
Yes.
And muscle and longevity?
Yes.
And muscle being the new, I don't know what I was going to say. The new 90?
I don't know where you're going with that.
Well, like...
Muscle's the new medicine.
Muscle is the new medicine. Yes, that's what I wanted to say. But, like, there's this... Now I feel like we're getting back into the fad of skinny. We got to be skinny. We got to be skinny and show our abs. But, like, that's not your longevity.
I have no idea what you're talking about. That's the new fad now?
Well, it's social media.
Because of GLPs, it's like, okay, I can eat whatever I want and just take
skinny.
Just take a shot.
Right.
I'll lose the weight. Doesn't matter if I'm losing fat and muscle. At least I'm getting skinny again.
Correct.
When was skinny in?
Oh, 80s and 90s, right? It was about being skinny.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, anyways, it's like, and again, with, like you said, with the GLPs, a lot of people are losing a ton of weight, but I shouldn't say all, many are not using the medication appropriately, number one. They're not using it correctly and actually fueling their system with taking the GLP. But number two, when they're getting the GLPs online, how do you know what's actually in the GLP?
How would you know?
You're not doing it safely by just going online and buying these medications. And even if you're going to a clinic and getting the injection every week and somebody's actually dispensing it to you, they're doing the injection, you may still not know where they're getting it or what's in it, or if you're even getting the right nutrients and vitamins with taking this thing.
Okay.
So we weren't really going to talk about GLPs, but since you brought it up.
Yeah, I don't know if we need to go down that rabbit hole. We can if you want, though.
GLPs can actually be very beneficial. And in fact, a lot of them have autoimmune, they actually can help with autoimmunity. So when you have an autoimmune condition or an autoimmune disease, they actually help with the anti-inflammatory effects. And so some providers are actually using GLPs for autoimmune conditions as opposed to just blood sugar and weight loss. And with the blood sugar and weight loss, they are beneficial. There are some good things and pros to using GLPs if you're using them the right way. And we're talking about the GLP-1s and GIPs like Ozempic and Mounjaro and Zepbound, and then of course the compounded versions of semaglutide, tirzepatide, the thing about it is you have to know how to fuel your body with taking these things, because if you're not using them correctly, yes, you will lose muscle mass, you will lose your hair, you will have constipation issues and GI issues, you won't sleep as well at night because we're not actually fueling our body the right way. They also deplete B12 vitamins, and if you're not replacing your B12 or getting one that's compounded with B12, that's a problem all in itself. Then you're eating away at your brain because you don't have enough B12 to protect your brain.
Holy guacamole. I just wanted to lose 30 pounds. Like, that's all I wanted to do. Now you're telling me that there's all these repercussions and side effects?
Well, I mean, it's just, think about like if you were to go on a weight loss diet and you were eating a 600 calorie diet and you were fasting for long periods of time and you were burning way more calories than you're consuming, that's not a healthy way to do it either, and you're going to lose muscle that way too. So it's really not much different than like the old types of medication. Anyways, the point of all this is that we wanted to come back to is, I'm telling you about GLPs because you brought them up. They're not all bad. We just have to make sure we're fueling our body the right way. We have to make sure we're eating enough protein. We still have to make sure we're exercising and we're weight training. But that really wasn't where we were going today. We were going to talk about how muscle is medicine, and as we're aging, the importance of strength training.
Muscles medicine. Back to what we originally wanted to talk about.
Yeah, now you got me on a rant.
Jeez Louise. That was like a boomerang burn right there. I think one really good way to segue into what we really wanted to get onto was there's not a single situation on the planet where being stronger than weaker is a benefit.
Where being stronger than weaker is a benefit?
Isn't a benefit.
I thought you said is.
Meaning that there's no downside ever in the history of life when we're talking about living and thriving and surviving. There's no situation where being stronger than weaker is a downside.
Except maybe with your trap muscles. I'm just kidding.
My gosh, stay focused. Stay focused. There's not a single situation.
Yes, you're right.
Right? When we're talking about survival, where having more muscle, more strength
than weaker,
is a downside.
Correct.
Right? The problem is, as we're getting older, we're not using the muscle. If you don't use it, you lose it, and it speeds up. The older you get, the quicker it happens.
For several reasons, yes.
For several reasons, yes. And if we want to get as simple as possible, one of the number one predictors of longevity is one of the 5 physical things out of our 10. We haven't talked about these in a couple of episodes now, which is being able to get down on the ground and get back up again without using your hands.
Yes.
So many people think that that's easy, that's not a problem at all, until you actually try it and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe how much my knee just buckled in and I had to use momentum to get up. Mm-hmm. Some people can just do it. Okay, that's great. Make sure that you can keep doing it. But then so many people over the age of 70 take it for granted that they just think that they're never going to end up on the ground.
Right.
Why would I need to get up from the ground? I'm never going to end up there.
Right.
And we've said this multiple times that I can say this with 100% certainty that every single person listening to this episode will fall in the future. You're going to fall. At some point, you will fall.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of times it's in the middle of the night, too, is when most people fall over the age of 70. However, if you have a dog, your dog's going to trip you at some point.
The dog's going to trip you. The rug's going to trip you. You're going to slip on something. Yeah. You're going to go down.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, wow, I've never been down here. I haven't been down here in 20 years. How am I going to get back up? Mm-hmm. Then that turns into a whole ordeal. Life alert shows up. Next thing you know, your quality of life has immediately gotten smaller because now you're more scared. You're more You're more conscious of walking, and you start doing the furniture shuffle. Like mm-hmm. This is how the snowball happens. You don't just wake up one morning. You're not thriving in your 70s, and then you just wake up at 80, and you're like, oh my gosh, I have no balance.
Right.
Like this is a thing that happens, and it's 100% due to muscles.
Correct. Not being utilized, not knowing how to use them, not keeping them strong enough. And as we go through the aging process, muscle mass starts to decline because of hormonal change. So if we're not doing the right things to protect the muscle, meaning eating enough, where so many people are actually deficient in how much they're eating, their protein, their total calories, especially as they age, and they feel like they're expending less energy, or maybe they just don't have as big of an appetite as it used to be. But then we get in this chronic issue of being deficient and the amount of calories and protein that we're getting. So that's going to decline muscle mass. Not using it as efficiently is going to cause it to decline. And again, taking certain medications can affect the muscle mass as well.
Yeah, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. When you get over, or you get past your 30s, you get into your 40s, you start getting a little fluffier. 50s and 60s, you start to get that.
Speak for yourself.
50s and 60s, you start to get the spare tire, and it's like, man, I'm really struggling to lose this excess weight around my stomach. So then you're like, okay, I need to eat less, and part of that less is the protein.
Right.
So you're eating less protein, you're eating salads, and you think that you're doing yourself good, but that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy because now you're not getting enough protein. So yes, you may be losing weight, but you're losing muscle mass, not fat mass, because now you're starving yourself, so your body's going to hold on to the fat and get rid of the muscle because if it's the most efficient thing on the planet. So I'm not going to expend calories to maintain this muscle mass if we're not going to use it.
Right.
So it's like, wait a minute.
Yeah, right. We think we're doing the right thing by following the online that says just eat less and move more. And we're just actually not providing the right types of energy to our body to be able to hold on to the muscle mass. And, again, a lot of our individuals should be using branched chain amino acids to help with slowing down the aging process or the decline in muscle mass. So if you're not using branched chain amino acids, you should definitely ask us about them. Send us a message. Ask if you should be using them. What kinds we carry them in the office. So some are better than others. So that could be beneficial in addition to getting enough protein and doing your strength training regimen.
Yeah, we're in such a pivotal switch or shift in medicine right now. We're experiencing it now where we're biohacking. We're learning so much about what can be done to slow and in some certain cases actually reverse the aging process. And most of the time, the things that we're reading about, these are normal or natural occurring things that just are not naturally occurring because humans weren't supposed to live to be 100. Mm-hmm. So now we've got some medicine and some health that's come into our world that's keeping us around longer, but the human body has not evolved. I mean, it was just 100 years ago that we weren't living to 100. That just didn't exist.
Right.
So it takes time for the body to evolve and evolution to occur. So we're getting to the point now to where we can fast track it and we can say, okay, these naturally occurring peptides that were your young peptides that your body produced naturally in your 20s and 30s and they stop in your 40s and 50s or actually slow. Well, if we can start taking them again, like it's not a pharmaceutical, it's not a chemical. These are natural occurring things in your body.
It's not synthetic, yeah.
It's given us the keys to the kingdom. It is the fountain of youth. It does exist.
Right. But again, it's not always, again, peptides are not the easy button either. And again, you need to know where you're getting your peptides because some of them aren't even regulated of any kind right now. So going online and just buying peptides is not recommended either. But even with peptides, like we have to make sure that we're still eating enough and we're getting the right balance of our proteins, our carbs, our fats, how we're avoiding food sensitivities and allergies. When I went to a peptide conference recently, the whole basis is still your gut health. And if your gut's not healthy, you're not even going to absorb the peptides well. You're not going to utilize them well. So we can't discount the basics of nutrition and exercise by any means. However, there are things that we can utilize now to augment the process and make sure that the gut is as healthy as it can be and that we're actually absorbing our nutrients and that we're maintaining our muscle mass.
Holy cow, we're all over the place and we just randomly ended back at gut health. Everything is gut health. Everything comes back down to gut health. It doesn't matter how strong you are, how many supplements you take, how good you eat. If your gut ain't healthy, it's irrelevant.
The kids just asked me about it this morning. Was I not talking to them about gut health this morning while they were eating breakfast? Stella asked me a question, and I'm like, we have to keep your gut healthy. That was the answer to my question.
Oh
and she was
gosh.
like, my gut? Like my butt? And I was like,
My
no.
butt.
Like your intestines and your tummy and where you get your nutrients.
How do you explain that to a
I was like,
6-year-old?
it's where your immune system starts, and it's how your brain is healthy and you're smart is from your gut. So I'm telling my 6-year-old that she has to have a healthy gut today.
And here's the irrelevant part is, if just because you think that you're doing something that's healthy, gluten-free, dairy-free, whatever free, lots of protein, no fluff, no preservatives, if your gut is not healthy to begin with and you actually have a sensitivity, then it's irrelevant.
Right.
So it all comes back to what's your food sensitivity saying, what's your blood panel showing. Then you make the adjustment based off of what that tells you.
Right. Getting the right vitamins, the right nutrients, the right balance. Again, coming back to your proteins, carbs, and fats, which is going to help with the preserving the muscle mass we have and building muscle mass as we age so that we can combat the sarcopenia or the natural loss of muscle mass. And then making sure you're doing your physical training and your EMTT.
Oh man, we are all over the place in this episode. I would love to see the cliff notes on this one.
Well, we're talking, everything comes back to being able to build and preserve muscle, right? And it's not just one thing. It's not going and doing 50 curls, 50 push-ups, and 50 squats a day that's going to preserve your muscle mass.
No, absolutely not.
Like, yes, the physical training is important, the exercise, the pickleball, the golf, but those aren't building strength.
No.
Lifting weights.
That's not building strength?
Lifting weights is building strength.
Okay.
However, if we're not doing the basis of it, the muscle's not going to recover and build.
Yeah.
It's going to take a long time to heal.
Yeah, I was just working with one of our clients that's been with you for 10 years now through Cedar Quiz, and followed you over here too. So you've been working with this guy for 10 years, and this guy's in really good shape. And his back started to tighten up on him. So he was being proactive before the back got really bad. He's like, well, let me see what I can do about it. Comes in and we do some tests and we're looking around, and this is a guy that goes on the leg press machine and will press 600 pounds on the leg press machine. That's a lot of weight. Mm-hmm. You would think that he's really, really strong, and he is really, really strong, but that doesn't mean that he's really, really efficient.
Right.
So after doing a couple of tests, we were like, okay, we're not using this right glute at all. So you're moving 600 pounds of weight on that leg press machine, but you weren't doing it the right way. So I think what you're trying to get to there is being able to do things more efficiently will give you the bigger return on investment. It's like, what's the point of pressing on the leg press machine 600 pounds if you're doing it inefficiently? Mm-hmm. So being proactive and saying, oh, wow, I didn't know this right glute wasn't working. Now I feel it working. And you go from 600 pounds down to 200 pounds because you can't do more than 200 pounds the right way. And then you build back up the right way. That's how you maintain the muscle mass as you're getting older.
Right. And yeah, being able to actually use the muscle the right way, which is what's going to get you off the ground.
Yeah.
As opposed to, like, great, you can push 600 pounds, but then if you can't even get your own body weight up, it's still a problem.
Life Alert. We should be sponsored by Life Alert. How many times have we brought up Life Alert on this podcast over the past couple of years?
But yeah, we're trying to get them to go out of business by making our people strong enough to not have to use them.
Oh, maybe they wouldn't sponsor us. So health insurance companies aren't going to sponsor us. Pharmaceutical companies aren't going to. Who's going to sponsor us? Jeez Louise. Oh, I know who's going to sponsor us. This episode is brought to you by BermanBoomers.com.
Oh.
If you haven't gone to BermanBoomers.com, I highly recommend you go there because you want to figure out what is your score. 0 to 100 is what the score is out of. Anything 80 and above, you're thriving, you're on track to arrive at 80 feeling 40. Anything under 80, we've got work to do. The vast majority of you listening are going to be surprised that your score is under 60, which is not good. Not good. Good news is, it doesn't take a whole lot of correct decisions to get it above 60, and then it just takes another couple of correct decisions to get it into the 80s or 90s.
And really consistency.
Consistency and accountability.
I don't know if it's the correct decision as much as like you have to have the knowledge on what the correct decision is, but then it's just going to be the consistency.
Knowledge is the big one. Like, I think about that so much. If you really knew how bad a bagel was, would you really eat it?
Right.
Like, if you really knew how bad that glass of orange juice was for like your inside, would you really drink it? Most people don't know.
Yeah, well, not if you read what's on the internet. Orange juice is good for you.
So are breads and carbs.
It's like that tea drink that you had the other day. It's a perfect example. You're drinking
that green tea.
The green tea out of a can.
Yeah.
And you're like, it's green tea. And I look at it and I'm like, do you know that this is not good for you? You had no idea.
Yeah, I don't ever drink. I usually drink water, right?
Yeah,
I drink water, and for whatever reason, we're at a friend's house. I opened up the fridge and I saw these green tea, cans of green tea. I'm going, oh man, that sounds great. I would love to have one of those. I drink it and I'm going, oh my gosh, this is delicious. I chugged it. Chugged it. You didn't know that I did that. And then I grab another one, and as I'm walking out, you grab it from me and you look at it and you go, what are you doing? I said, I'm going to drink another one of these things. It was amazing. She goes, do you know what was in that? And I go, green tea?
I was like, do you know you just drank a cup of ice cream? Like, that's how much sugar was in it. Yeah. And then I started reading the ingredient list, and it sounded like it was like cane sugar, right? Which is tolerable, or monk fruit. No, it was high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah, and when she told me that, I almost went in self-induced vomiting. I'm going, what? This is why I don't drink anything except water and beer. That's it. I know what's in my beer, and I know what's in my water. That's it.
I was like, oh, like you just should have just drank a Coke.
I should have drank a Coke.
Yeah, might have been better. I don't know. But see, that's the thing is like on it said something about being sweetened with honey and ginseng.
Yeah.
Isn't that what it said?
Yeah.
On the can. So it's like the green tea, Arizona green, well, maybe I should have said the brand. But anyways, green tea. And it said sweetened with honey and ginseng. So then you're like, oh, it has to be healthy. It's honey and ginseng.
Yeah.
And then the first ingredient or maybe second ingredient on the back was high fructose corn syrup. Yep. They didn't market that. And that's the thing about knowledge is like, all these things, they market it to make it look like it's so good for you. Like the protein Pop-Tarts, right? People are like, oh, it has protein in it. It must be healthy.
Crustables.
Pop-Tart. It's not healthy.
Crustables, protein Pop-Tarts.
Yeah, like they market it to make it look so good, but if you don't know how to read a label.
Wow. We were supposed to be winding down.
Oh my gosh.
Now you're wound up
gosh.
again.
Okay.
Should we just keep going? Should we make this a double episode or?
See, this is why I can't talk about muscle. Like we just have to keep coming back to muscle. Muscle has so many things that are involved in it. It's not just about going to the gym every day. And by the way, if you're doing the same darn routine at the gym every single day, you're not doing yourself any good either.
You mean 3 sets of 10 reps of 10 pounds?
The same 5 exercises.
Yeah. So I did 3 sets of 10 for the past 20 years of the same
5 exercises every day.
Yeah, that's not exercise. That's work, but it's not exercise.
Yeah, you're not getting stronger.
Yeah, there is a very big difference. This was one of the big things that I still struggle with to this day with documenting exactly what it is that you're doing. So the best that I ever did at this was 2 years ago when I hired a virtual personal trainer, and he got me into his app, and every single set I had to document the weight that I did. And this was documented for weeks. And every single day that I would go to do that exercise again, I could see the weight that I did last time. And just by seeing the amount of weight that you did last time and the amount of reps that you did last time, it made me want to do more of one or both. So it's like, okay, I got 9 reps at this weight last time. I'm going to get 10 this time. It just makes you push a little bit harder. The amount of growth that I had strength-wise in a 2-month period, it was just astronomical compared to anything that I had experienced over 10 years until training for the High Rocks. Oh my gosh, it makes me want to vomit just thinking about that. Torture.
You should be doing it now.
I am doing it now. I ran this morning.
I haven't been writing your workouts for you.
Yeah, well, maybe we should start again.
Because I think that's also why the High Rocks allowed so much growth and opportunity for us, is because we were actually following a plan. We were following something that was written out, like this is what we have to reach. The next week was something different. Next week was something different, but it was a progressive plan building up.
Yeah. Progressive, way out of your comfort, way out of my comfort zone every single time. Mm-hmm. Every single day, every single week, it was just a little bit more than what I was comfortable with. And the craziest thing happened. I got stronger.
What?
Crazy, right?
That's nuts. Yeah. So if you're doing the same routine every day for weeks on end, you're not helping yourself. Yeah. If you're not building reps, weight, sets, you're not helping yourself. But even if you are building the reps, the weights, and the sets, you can't do the same exercises all the time.
Yeah, this is Tony Horton 101, P90X, muscle confusion.
Yeah, metabolic confusion, muscle confusion. I still talk about it every day. So if you want to build muscle mass, should I summarize? Your insurance stinks. They're going to write you a year later, rebuttaling your argument from a year ago. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
If you want to build muscle mass, which is your longevity, your brain feeds when you have more muscle mass, your metabolism feeds when you have more muscle mass, your longevity, your strength, it is the predictor for how long you're going to live, the amount of muscle mass you have. And you should actually be checking your muscle mass to see what it is, like objectively. That's like on the scale in our office.
Yeah.
Right?
I've got a section in my notes on my phone where every single time I jump on that scale, it gives me all the data points, and it tells me exactly this is how much muscle mass you have in pounds, this is your percent body fat, everything. So I'm documenting it. And since training for High Rocks, it's the first time that the number has actually gone up.
On your muscle mass.
On muscle
mass. It's because
mass.
You're doing something different. You would get in that habit where you would do the same workouts.
I just got done saying that.
Yeah.
Like I already admitted that. So I'm down on the ground right now. Kick me while I'm down there, please. Go ahead. You're driving the bus. You already ran over me this way. Back up. Run over me again.
Do you need a pat on the back?
Pat on my head. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So building muscle mass. We got to make sure the gut's healthy. We have to make sure we're eating enough, specifically protein. But really, is your protein outweighing your carbohydrates? It's a pretty good starting point. Knowledge is important. Reading labels, understanding what you're actually putting in your system, and then strength training, different exercises, building progression.
Write down what you're doing.
Writing it down.
Do more than what you did before.
Sleep, hydration fits in there somewhere, but we're not getting into that today.
Jeez Louise. Where does it stop?
I'm telling you, it doesn't.
Never stops.
Like building muscle is not just about exercise.
It's not. It's about having a team. Yeah.
Berman Health Club.
Berman Health Club. This episode is also brought to you by bermanhealthclub.com. If you don't know what you don't know, you should go to bermanhealthclub.com and figure out what you don't know.
Correct.
Right? The 4 levels, the 4 stages of competency, right? Unconsciously incompetent, consciously incompetent, consciously competent, unconsciously competent. If you don't even know what you don't know, right now you're unconsciously incompetent. You don't even know what you don't know about maintaining muscle, getting healthier, arriving at 80, feeling 40. So bermanhealthclub.com.
Share this episode. We should end before we start on down another journey.
Yep. All right. Good.
Okay, bye. Ciao.